is going to be very important to keep note of his positioning. Yellowstar got caught out a number of times playing Cogmore, and that's a problem for him. In terms of the spring split, owned into this matchup. And ladies and gentlemen, we are live for the final game of the grand final.
Here we go. It's Fnatic on the blue, Gambit on the red. And we are under starters orders. It's going to be see whether there's any level 1 fights. I would say not.
Let's wait for level 2 and look for the red invade. That's what happened last time, and it's something we can almost count on. Again, we have a relatively slow start from both of these teams, setting up some vision wards and just making sure they don't get caught out. And the rat is going to get spotted by Genja, so I've got a little bit of early information.
Yeah, let's see whether they go for one another, and Rated, of course, is there as well, where they can go and lock him up. He's going to stealth in and go in towards Genja. The shield gets put on him, and he goes straight aggressive on towards Genja. Does manage to put a good chunk of damage down on him. Has he gone for the expunge? Is it going to be enough? He's going to try and get one more shot. Not quite enough to get in there. Yellowstar, actually, I don't think he leveled up an ability there. No, he did. Of course, he stealth.
It was the stealth. So there was no expunge available, unfortunately. If N-Rated was able to get in range and exhaust him, maybe they could have made something happen. But all that's going to happen is Genja's just going to recall, heal back up, and move back into lane. At the moment, though, you see Soaz, he's put a ward in the tri-bush, got some vision, and obviously Darian's going to be aware of it. So at the moment, it doesn't look like we're going to have any lane swaps. This is going to be a straight-up 1v1, top v top, mid v mid, and duo v duo to determine who is the #1 team in Europe.
So the Wolves are going to be picked up by Gambit. It does look like it will be that 2v2, as you mentioned, down that bottom lane. As it stands, Darian, he's going to take the golems in the top, or rather, he's going to give them to Darian, I feel. We're to see who's going to take them, we'll never know. Yellowstar is going to take those golems, however, and N-Raid is going to come around and help out Cyanide to take down that red buff. So, standard meta coming out from the teams, and it is going to be straight up fights. How will this work? Rumble versus Elise in that top lane. We're going to have, of course, Diana, Dirty Diana versus Peke in the mid lane. And the bottom lane is going to be N-Rated and Yellowstar on Twitch. And Janna, of course, versus Sona and Varus.
All right, I'm going to ask you to stretch your brains back all the way to game 1 of the series and think back to Soaz's Rumble against Darian's Elise. Soaz dominated him. He picked up 2 1v1 kills, and that Rumble Flame Spitter was enough to destroy Elise and her Spiderlings. We'll see whether or not Soaz can replicate that performance. He's going to need to do it if they want to win. The only difference is, after Darian fed, Gambit bounced back to win the game at the end of it.
That said, it was because of Cyanide. It wasn't particularly so as in a straight-up fight. It wasn't a fair fist fight. They did go in all guns blazing against the Knife Man.
Fair enough, but like I said, it was a 1v1, regardless of gank pressure. He managed to make it work. Cyanide has come to spread the love once more. Almost a rematch of the very first series of games. Cyanide, a very patient ganker, happy to wait until Darian oversteps his bounds. Darian does have that Cocoon and Repel available, as well as his Flash, if he needs to get away to safety.
So Cyanide is laying in wait for a long period. He hasn't been spotted, of course, because he managed to stealth in towards that bush. Oh, look at that. He is tense, he is wound up, and he is ready to go. Soaz takes down the siege minion. The waves are very even between them, and they're just waiting to see whether Darian is going to make those few foolish steps a little bit closer as the wave pushes in there. He's surely going to realize, hang on a minute, I just hit 4, and Soaz did not.
Yeah, so I'm sure he'll be aware of it. There is a very large number of minions in front of him, so that's part of the reason for it. Darian is still playing defensive. If he does step a little bit further, Cyanide's going to go in instead. He's going to back away. So 30-40 seconds worth of time lost. And it gives him a small CS deficit over his lane counterpart or opposite number Diamond Cross.
Yeah, it's so obvious now. The fact that he still hasn't lit level 4 is Cyanide. Now it's in his mind. Has he gone? Has he not gone? Or will Diamond Prox be coming in to help out? Or more importantly, will Cyanide go back just at the split second that Cyanide goes? He has, and Diamond has snuck in towards that top bush.
The problem is the lane is so heavily pushed that Soaz is not really at risk of going down unless he, waits for this wave to push out. So the waiting game is on, and Diamond Prox's patient meter is significantly less than Cyanide in this particular setup.
Thank you very much, Lane Tax. I'm off. I'm going to hit, run, and walk away. Just trying to see if any bait towards Cyanide, and not going to happen. Cyanide goes back to the Wolves and continues his merry farm. We see the level ups coming out both from Genja and Edward in this bottom lane. They are both in level 4. Fnatic, Yellow Star and N-Rated both already there. I tell you a lie, Yellow Star is still in level 3, so he's just a little bit behind there. Power Chord coming out didn't land on the target, I feel. Pretty sure he should have gone for Yellow Star with that one. Doesn't matter. There's going to be the Wither on towards Soaz. Forces the flash away. And the Spirit Fire went down. The Cocoon did not land, though.
So Flash and Ghost used for top laner and jungle, respectively. So we'll see how it goes. And there's the fight to the bottom.
They do manage to catch on towards him. He has been exhausted. Oh, and he flashed just at the moment the arrow was about to land. We're going to see Edward, though. Is he going to have Power Chord? No, he's not. He flashed in for that one on Yellow Star. And instead, he does manage to survive.
Flash is available for Varus, though, so if they force another fight, he will be able to potentially jump away, put himself out of expunge range. But aggressive bottom lanes from both of these two teams, and the fact that Yellow Star's Twitch plus Janna does not have any sustain means he grabs himself a very early Vamp Scepter, comes back into lane, and will be relying on those auto attacks to keep his health up. So,
how does this translate into the lane phase? Let's have a look, because Darian is actually falling behind at the moment to Soaz, as did happen in game 1, as you said. There's more level ups coming out in the bottom lane. Diamond Prox continues to take lane tags everywhere he goes. I haven't seen him in that jungle for a while. He just keeps on clearing out the waves.
And there's nothing entirely wrong with that, especially a champion like Nasus, and especially the way that Darren and Gambit play him. They'll rush him to 6 and try and get a very early dragon down. It's something that we've seen them do many, many times this split already. And obviously with the damage potential of Varus, of Diana, it'll be an even quicker, even safer dragon that they can force.
And we've not seen Peke actually on Zed in this series so far. Obviously before it was Soaz, I believe, that played it last time around. Alex Ich, of course, has played it twice as well. So we'll see how that one develops, see if he builds it any different to anyone else. I wouldn't suspect he would, but you never know with these players. Everybody has their kind of own little quirk, their own little tilt on a build, and see how things would go. Diamond Prox, of course, returning back to lane. He's going to farm it out and get more lane tags.
I'd like to see whether or not Pekka subscribes to the Goro method of longsword stacking. Whether or not it's a Fnatic, team thing that they've talked about and theory crafted and, copied from, like we said, from the Asian regions, or whether or not it's just a simple case of I had the money for it. That question is answered as the Bilgewater Cutlass has been picked up. A little bit of poke on N-Rated, and he's trying to bait the fight, but Gambit are not falling for this one.
Cyanide is there, and Yellow Star's actually been separated, which means they're going to focus on towards Edward there. Get a little bit of an expunge on that poison. Doesn't really do a great deal, and Genja already avoided that. We're going to see the ward potentially placed. N-Rated wants to get it down and simply sniped. He didn't have a vision of him there.
No, that was blind and purely anticipating. He knew that Janna was moving up, and this is what we said about Genja's Varus. His skill shots and his timing on that piercing arrow are really, really good. So we'll see if he can continue to do that throughout the course of this game. Also take note, he does have Exhaust as a summoner spell. So if Jarvan or Zed jump on top of him, he's going to exhaust him immediately and try to survive all of that burst and all that damage.
Well, the farm continues in this bottom wave. It's a much slower paced game. We'd already had 8 kills by now in the last match, and as it stands, it's still 0-0. First blood yet to come about. Let's look across the builds that are starting to appear. Soaz has already taken down, picked up that Haunting, guys. We do see the Magic Resist Negatron Cloak coming out from Darwin as well, along with that little bit of hit points. Looking across, Bilgewater Cutlass being picked up by Peke, and straight reversal, the Seeker's Arm Guards coming out from Alex Ich. Edward pushes on towards N-Rated, quickly shields himself and heals off that damage. And the Vampire Acceptors both being picked up by the AD carries. And exactly because of all that lane tax that Diamond Prox picked up, you can see the vision come down for Gambit. They're thinking about going for that dragon, but Fnatic are aware of it. That's Spray and Pray has been used. Spray and Pray has gone down, as is Crescendo. They're going to try and turn this one around. There's going to be the Chain of Corruption on towards Yellow Star. First blood goes down. It's Diamond that lands it. Now N-Rated's going to get taken low, as is Cyanide. Tries to slide through. That's going to be the double kill for Diamond Prox, and that is how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. Such great play, and so a little bit of miscommunication between the Fnatic members. They weren't expecting that level 6 from Edward, that Crescendo to come in, and there was no Monsoon from N-Rated. If they'd waited for a couple more minions and had the Monsoon available, they may have been able to reverse that, pick up first blood themselves. But it's hindsight is 2020 right now. Gambit, 2 kills, both of them on Nasus,
and the Dragon. That is a very, very good start in this deciding matchup between Fnatic and Gambit.
The smallest of advantages, and straight away Peke goes and takes away those Wraiths, and a pick comes out from Alex Ich. He knows the exact position and tries to land that Crescent Sweep onto him, and does not. Is it Crescent Strike actually? Crescent Sweep would be Zinzao.
Yes, correct. So pretty good starting for the two teams, and of course both blue buffs donated to the mid laners, so they're just going to carry on battling it out as best as they can. We do see a very, very good CS advantage for Xpeke at the moment over Alex Ich. He's extending that to around 30 or so. And like we said, teams of Z have gone undefeated in this series so far. Xpeke will be hoping to continue that trend.
So, as it stands, let's have a look across the board. 1,000 gold, Gambit in that slightest lead. That's, of course, going to be down to that Dragon and the 2 kills they picked up. But, of course, as you mentioned, the fact that it is still just 1,000 gold does mean that Fnatic are doing very, very well in this laning phase. They have that advantage, so as in that top lane and the middle lane, of course, and actually the bottom lane as well in terms of farm. So they're leading in all parts of CS, and it's going to be Alex Ich engaging on towards Peke here. The Ignite goes down, but he's going to try and turn it back around on towards him. Doesn't quite catch on towards. The ultimate comes out from Alex Ich to close that gap. Going to get that shield down, and Peke's in all manner of trouble, but here comes his help from his team. It's going to be tag team time. The flash flails, and that's going to be Cyanide catching him, but Diamondprox gets caught in the Cataclysm as well. Is the Wither going to be enough to show him down? No, it's not, because Yellowstar picks up the kill, cleanses off that Wither of his own. Diamondprox is not done here yet. Edward's going to continue chasing. Genja came up the river as well, but it looks like it's going to be all she wrote, and Peke will be the one to back away safely after all the help from his friends.
The reaction there from Fnatic was absolutely fantastic. Everybody being in the right place at the right time, and a little unlucky for Alex because the Eye of the Storm, the shield from Janna, was actually not available as he got within range of Peke, so he needed a couple seconds longer before he put it down. Up in the top lane, they're fighting.
The Cocoon goes down, but he's going straight away equalizer. Soaz probably using it in a bit of a defensive formation. Darian has managed to avoid that damage, though. Of course, that's on a fairly quick cooldown. I wouldn't say it's that quick. Harpoons are going to come back out again. Does land on towards Darian. Gets the second one. That lands on towards Darian as well. Keeping that poke down. He's chugging that crystalline flask down. And here comes the rat to see if he can sniff out the spider.
Yeah, a stinking rat is going to roll back in here. He does have spray and pray available if he wants to go for it. But outside of the harpoons, there's no additional CC here from Fnatic. So Yellowstar stealthed up. They're going to go for this dive.
They're going to go straight in towards it. He's going to catch the slowdown. The first harpoon doesn't land. Soaz is actually taking very low. And the repel comes out. Is it going to be enough? The Ignite's there. He's going to turn around. One more shot from the spray and pray of Yellowstar. And he takes down Darian.
So very, very well played. Darian almost manages to pick himself up a kill out of that one. So a good play overall. 2-2, they even up the kills, and all of a sudden gold is bang on even.
While Yellowstar's in the top lane, they are going to take down that turret, but you can see 3 members of Gambit in the bottom lane, and they're pushing on. They're going to try and take that turret down, or will they try and freeze that lane out a little bit longer? And Rated wisely backs away from it, but Diamondprox, he wants to take the turret down, but Genja's just interested in farm, and now Diamond's like, well, fine, if he's just going to leave me too, I'm going to steal all your farm as well.
Especially because they've just got that little bit of an advantage over the Twitch and the Janna lane as far as CS is concerned, but because Twitch has both of those kills, he's been able to finish that Blade of the Ruined King very early actually in this particular matchup, so they'll be very happy with that. And Twitch is an AD carry that you really don't want to get fed. Diamondprox trying to steal red buff. He's put the Wither down on Cyanide, but I don't think he'll want this fight.
Well, this is in reaction because Peke's just stolen away the red buff of Diamondprox, but Cyanide, like you mentioned, doesn't want to allow that to slide. Will he use the smite? No, he's going to give it across to Yellowstar because that dragon will be up shortly. And now he's going to be Genja backing off there. He has got Hail of Arrows available, so I don't think he's going to get caught out by Soaz just yet. Edward very bravely backing away. That's actually a blue buff in vain, and now Genja has been caught out. Howling Gale flashed away from that one. The equalizer does land on towards him to slow him enough, but he should be safe. Cyanide is there to the side, but you can see defensive duties of Diamondprox will be enough to force him away, but it's going to be a blue buff steal.
And that's very important. A champion like Diana is quite dependent on that blue buff. The cooldown reduction, as well as being able to just spam out those Qs, the Crescent Strikes over and over. It's important for wave clear, it's important for initiation. With all the pressure that Fnatic are putting in this bottom lane though, Darian has just been left unattended in the top lane. He's got a lot of free farm, and he may even be able to pick that tower up. while Fnatic are now trying to put pressure on this bottom tower themselves.
Peke will come up there and try and defend it, try and clear him off. You can see Fnatic there are just going to churn down this turret. That's going to take it 2-0 as that Howling Gale pushes that lane back out. Now Yellowstar continues to farm out the waves. Well, Genja and Edward, they're not going to let this one go just yet. They're going to have to be very defensive oriented though, because there's not many hit points left on either of those bottom turrets.
And that bodes very well. You see in the middle lane there, Soaz pushing Alex out of lane with just that flame spitter. So he was in the danger zone, of course, it was dealing that bonus damage, but if Rumble is already applying a lot of pressure, bursting through the shield of Alexich's Diana, that means these team fights are going to go fairly well in their favor if they can force them. But what Gambit have shown is they can play a game where they play a split push, they play the map, and don't rely on 5v5 engagements to win.
Yeah, they do play the map and they try and take as many advantages as they can. And as it stands, Diamond with the Spirit Fire can keep Soaz batted away from that turret for a little bit longer there. The Dragon will be up in 20 seconds time, and Cyanide just warded it up now. I think he got that pink in towards that pit, so they're going to be well aware of the next fight.
Talking about that as well, Diamond Prox's lane taxing has got him a sizable CS lead. He's got 2 kills as well, so all the experience from that. He's about halfway to level 10, whereas Cyanide is about halfway to level 9. So he's got that level advantage, which means he'll get his second level ultimate soon. Vision is available for Gambit. They've pinked it out. We heard a crescendo going down, and they've caught out Enrated.
Down in the bottom, he uses the Monsoon, and that was very well done there, because the Chain of Corruption also caught on towards him. Peke, meanwhile, he's split pushing, taking down that top inner turret. And Fnatic, they're just going to keep him at bay here. His Equalizer is available. Cyanide goes in, flashes straight out of it. It is going to be the Dragon for Gambit. It's going to be the cost of the top inner turret.
So you got to feel the Fnatic will be happier about that particular trade. In game number 1, when Zed was being played by Alexich, they did a very similar thing. Split push allows Zed to control the bat. Now Soaz has been with it.
They're going to dive in. He gets the Moonfall back in there. Does manage to get the Equalizer down. Tries to pop the shield. The Janna comes in as well to try and keep them away. Doesn't have Monsoon available, but Diamond Prox is forced back away by Cyanide. Very well defended once again by Fnatic.
Yeah, again, just responding at exactly the right time, being where they need to be, when they need to be there. So very good play. It does mean that they've abandoned Yellowstar in this bottom lane. So if Edward and Genja want to go aggressive, they do have the possibility to pick up kills, but they won't be tower diving without that crescendo.
Soaz is, well, he's just causing problems for them right now on that Rumble, and this isn't the first time he's done it. Diamond Prox is also causing problems, though. He's been the man that's effectively tried to come in and defend against every time Fnatic go on that aggression. It did work out well for them. He picked up those 2 kills in that bottom lane last time he counted it in there. But you've got to start worrying about the likes of Peke. The fact that he's up above 200 CS, way ahead of Alexich right now, and he's already taken down that top inner turret, they are causing problems. And this is just, that's why that camera is right there. It's Peke Cam.
And that's a level 14 expect at 17 minutes to the level 12 Diana. So he's going to hit that 250 CS probably around the 20-21 minute mark, which is a massive amount of gold. Fnatic are grouped up here in this mid lane. Going to try apply some pressure, but they're really going to need that Janna and Twitch combo. The cocoons on Peke.
Genja's free farming down the bottom, but we're going to see the repel coming out from Darren, but the rest of his team weren't quite catching on there because Soaz was causing problems around the side. But this is buying Genja some time. He's going to shove on towards that bottom turret. Yellowstar is going to go down there, but that wave may well take it down on it by itself.
Yeah, that's very low from all that pressure that they had earlier in the matchup. Right now, though, it's a standoff in this middle lane. Fnatic do not want to leave this lane and risk losing their mid lane tower. So they're just going to keep the numbers advantage. Yellowstar is still not with them. Pay careful attention to his position because they're really going to need that spray and pray to help win these team fights.
So let's look across the items as we are at the nearly 19-minute mark, and it's 2-2 between the two. 3-0 Fnatic with the advantages in the turrets. Of course, that's where that gold gap is, as well as the free farm they've been getting. Gambit, though, could take their first turret here. They're going to push on. They put the Damash in, standing down Cyanide, but isn't willing to dive in towards it. Cocoon does land. They're going to dive straight on towards Cyanide. They may well catch on towards him. There's going to be Chain of Corruption and the great crescendo catching on towards them. Enrated gets dropped as well as Cyanide. And now Gambit suddenly turn and burn. It's going to be Diamond Prox Prox going down to Peke. Peke coming back in there. Soaz manages to pick up the kill. He's on towards Alex Teach. Darien wants to finish off Yellowstar. Can he manage to catch it towards him? No, he hasn't. I don't believe it. And Peke picks up the double kill now. And what a great turnaround from Fnatic. From a deadly situation, from a great layered ultimate, they go 3 for 2.
Yeah, you couldn't have said it better. It was literally just a great setup from Gambit, but the response from Fnatic, spray and pray from Yellowstar, managed to catch out 3 or 4 members of Gambit just directly, going straight through all of them. That's percentage HP damage, just shredding everybody. So they defend that off, they get the kill advantage, and they get that mid turret. That's 4 towers down to the 1 of Gambit. Fnatic are 4,000 gold ahead of them at the 20-minute mark, and Peke is about to hit 250 CS.
Can Fnatic book the trend of the grand finals and pick up a win on the blue side? Fantastic play so far from them. So I would not want to bet against them, of course. Get over to lolesports.com, get your votes in there, because this game has got on a knife edge right now, and frankly, I just wouldn't bet against anyone. It is so close. Diamond Prox picks up that red buff. He goes in towards the top lane. Darien, he went so deep in that dive. Diamond Prox is the only one that seems to have a cool head right now.
Yeah, so he's playing a lot smart in terms of positioning, and, you know, felt that the engage was good, but he didn't overcommit to it. And immediately you see once the fight is down, the game just resets, everybody securing their own buffs and just roaming around the map. The one thing that Gambit are going to need to put together is some sort of answer for Peke. How do you stop Zed split pushing? Right now, if he goes toe-to-toe with Darien, with Diamond Prox, or with Alexich, he will win those trades because he is so far ahead in items and in terms of survivability. He's about to build a Guardian Angel.
That is a scary thought already in this game. Peke is very strong right now. Yellowstar's getting himself from free farm. In fact, they are setting up their standard aggressive defensive formation. This is what Fnatic do. They sit and bait it out, and look at that. Alexich is like, no, I am not going down that deep on the lane. I am going to sit this one out. Now we see Peke pushing there, but Yellowstar is the sneaky one. That little rat is sneaking in towards the bush. He's going to stealth up, get in towards that bush, and see if they can set up a gank.
Now it's definitely going to be a possibility. Look at the damage coming down. It's not quite as much as you were expecting. Going to need a little bit of armor penetration for Peke before he can really shred them down. The rest of Fnatic is here. Soaz is forcing them away from it. The rest of Fnatic are staying tightly knit group here in this bottom lane, and they'll start bashing away on the tower very shortly. Yellowstar getting a lot of damage quickly.
This is the second inner turret of the game that Fnatic are working towards, and they've already put down a good layer of a third of the health off that turret. Diamond Prox, he was kept away from by Soaz there in that engagement, and that dragon perfectly timed by Fnatic in 12 seconds, although they're a little bit early.
They are a tiny bit early, but it was the pressure that they applied in the bottom lane. They have very good vision in and around Dragon. It does look like Gambit are going to come and contest this one. Ward is instantly cleared there by members of Gambit and Fnatic. They haven't started Dragon just yet. They may want to pick a team fight before they go in for the Drake.
Remember, of course, they don't want to be grouped up too tightly because that crescendo could turn the fight. Of course, the chain of corruption that's been coming out and landing so well from Genja could be a problem for them. The Howling Gale comes by, but they do try and drive by. They've gone aggressive on towards Diamond Prox. They're going to put the death mark down on him. Will they be able to pop him quick enough? He's going to use that ultimate. He's trying to just run away from this one, kite them for that little bit longer, but that means the junglers down Gambit have to back away from this fight. They're going to get pressure on towards Darien Rated. He forces the flash away there and then pops the monsoon. The dragon will go to Fnatic.
Crucially, the chain of corruption missed. We've seen that fight as it was moving up towards Diamond Prox up the river. Genja threw out that chain towards members of Fnatic, and because it did not connect with anybody and root anyone in place, no one else from Gambit dove forward. So Fnatic, they get a kill, they get a dragon, and they maintain that gold lead as well as the map lead right now.
It's a 5,000 gold lead now for Fnatic. That is a big difference this early in the game. Of course, last time we did reach that 54-minute mark, but Gambit are going to have to go some to try and stretch this game out because Fnatic, they can smell victory.
They are definitely sniffing at blood in the water, and the fact that they are so deep on terms of the Gambit's map in their jungle, pushing their inner towers, it bodes well for Fnatic. What it also means is it can turn instantly. If Fnatic stay too long, if they stay, pushing a tower when they shouldn't be, there can be 2, 3, 4 kills picked up very quickly from Gambit because they've got that assassin potential. Diana and Elise will dive onto somebody with Nasus drawing attention from the rest of Fnatic, and they can pull themselves right back into this game.
Well, we do see once again Peke being that thorn in the side, and look at this. He can take down Diamond. He wants a piece of this. He's already just seen it in that last fight and is like, yeah, I've got the damage to kill you, and I'm quite up for this 1v1. You said it yourself, the fact that there's nobody really that can stand against Peke right now.
Yeah, they're going to have to commit multiple people, and what that ends up resulting is you'll have 2 or 3 people going to contest Peke, and the rest of Fnatic are going to push other lanes. We've seen them doing this the entire time. And we do see Edward, he clears up wards with that Oracle's Elixir, and if he'd been a millimeter to the left, Peke may have actually dove over the wall to go for him.
Yeah, we also saw Soaz maybe trying to get a sniff on towards Edward. They do clear out those wards and come in towards it. Pings going down around, but the vision is all Fnatic's, or it was, until Edward with that
Look at the
Oracle.
positioning.
He's going to dive in. He's going to get on towards Edward. There's no way he's going to be able to survive this one. We do, though. He manages to live just that little bit longer, but Diamond Procs going in the crescendo, hitting all members of Fnatic there. Chain of Corruption also going in. Now Alex is diving around the backside. He could pick up a multi-kill here. He's going to get on towards Yellowstar. He does pop the Zhonya's Hourglass, and he's not going to be able to get away from this one.
I cannot believe it.
Yellowstar picks up the kill. They just can't catch a break, and Fnatic are driving it home.
I cannot believe how well they play the coordinate. Genja is out of position.
He's been caught. The flame spinner's going to go down. He's going to get finished off by Peke, who other would pick that one up. And now, you know, they could push on towards an inhibitor turret here, but for now, they're going to keep their losses, and they're going to back away, and that's a 3-4-0.
3-0 at the end of that engagement, and Yellowstar and Enrated getting away with a whisker of HP, using everything under their power to stay alive. You see the Zhonya's Hourglass going down, and the moment it came out, the knockup was there from Enrated. So, you know, Alex so close to turning the tide of this game, but unfortunately, those whiskers determine that Fnatic are still in control.
Yeah, obviously with a dog on your team, those whiskers are a problem, Diamond. He's just not been catching a break right now. He was once again in there, but it was Edward that kind of got caught and started the whole fight off. But there's so much damage, so much burst potential right now from Fnatic, and they're just working so well as a unit to defend any member that gets called out. They covered Yellowstar so well in that last fight.
It's the best description of it. Every time a member of Fnatic has been somewhat caught, think back to the mid lane engagement where Peke almost went down. They managed to save him. Right now, you can see Alex. He's alone, and he's going to get jumped on.
He's absolutely dead. He's going to try and see if he can get the kill down on towards Yellowstar, but it's not enough damage with those two. This is what Fnatic do. Whether it be Soaz and Peke or Yellowstar and Peke, they will push down a double lane and manage to get the kills, and it works so well. And it's actually something that you always see. Every time Yellowstar is there on Twitch, they will always stack together.
And no matter what happens, they succeed. Because if you do not go into the lane to CS, you lose the experience and the gold. If you go into the lane to CS, you get ganked and you die. No matter what happens, Fnatic win. Look at the positioning here on Soaz and Peke. They're about to find out Genja. If Equalizer was down, they could have jumped there, but there's no death mark. That is very important. Without Deathmark, I don't believe they're going to just throw themselves at members of Gambit.
They're going to push on towards the inner turret, though, so that's going to be 5 for 2 in turrets now to Fnatic, and that stretches their gold lead to 6,000. And they are just looking unstoppable in this game. Can Fnatic take the grand finals? This is the final match, or will Gambit be able to defend this one?
I have a better question for you. Can Fnatic siege under an inhibitor turret? That's the real question. With the amount of wave clear from Nasus, Diana, Elise with the Spiderlings, and Varus with the piercing arrows, it's going to be very difficult to get damage on that turret, especially because Twitch does not have the longest of ranges until he activates that spray and pray. So, if Gambit can stall it out, and we know that they have the ability to do so, they can pull themselves back into this game.
Peke does continue to churn through those waves and gets very close to passing 300 CS right now. All he's got, Blade of Rune King, Guardian Angel, and the Brutalizer, but that is frankly all he needs. He's a beast, and he's absolutely popping anyone that he finds. We do see the Runic Bulwarks both completed for Cyanide and Diamond Procs, so they are going to be doing a job for their team. It's almost a standard build item right now for any jungler.
That's the truth, and in terms of the junglers, you can see there is some vision down towards the river, and both of the junglers are going to be called on to defend this next dragon. 25 seconds on the clock. The last time Fnatic pushed it, they pushed the bottom lane out, applied damage to the tower, and then fell back to the dragon. So we'll see whether or not that is going to pan out. Right now, though, Fnatic seem to be grouping up in and around the Baron, and Yellowstar's actually started this one off.
Started it off like Henrady's like, dude, I'm stood right next to a ward. I'm trying to clear this out. Why the hell are you attacking Baron for? And the damage actually onto Yellowstar and Henrady was a bit of a problem. But Peke is fine Diamond. He's not going to engage on him yet, though.
It's because he used the shadow to get over the wall. He needs that shadow to get additional damage and make that death mark pop. So now that's available off cooldown, if they jump on Gambit, they can pick this one up. Peke is literally running interference. That's all he's doing. They baited Gambit into thinking Baron's going on. The rest of the teams run down to Dragon. That is one of the best psychological plays I've ever seen.
Absolutely, completely throwing them. And, well, that does stretch that gold lead yet more in towards Fnatic's favor. Gambit, though, they can't be left too long to just keep on farming. They will eventually manage to pick up a win in one of these team fights. And Fnatic, they are slowly but surely running out of the chance to split push because they are up to the Gambit's base.
Take a look at the positioning here for Gambit. They've caught them out. Diamond's in trouble.
They've caught Diamond out. Yellowstar already used spray and pray right at the start of that fight. They may well have locked him out of this fight. You're going to see the repel. The crescendo comes out. Gambit are getting on towards this one. Enraged is taken very low as well. But it's Peke that's in there. He is rampaging his way through the team. Darian's going to get pursued by Yellowstar. Can they turn back on towards him? Cyanide comes back in. Yellowstar does manage to take down Darian. It's a 2-for-1 currently, but it's going to be more because Diamond Prox is going to get taken oh so low. Can they get away from him? Alex Ich goes back in. He manages to pop one, gets the Guardian Angel of Peke as well, and does manage to avoid the damage. There's the hail of arrows to slow them down. It was a 2-for-2 trade, but more importantly, they took Peke's Guardian Angel.
That was a fight that Fnatic technically lost. They jumped in on Diamond, tried to use their abilities, and didn't stack them up particularly well. They actually lost 3 because the GA was popped, so a good fight for Gambit overall, and it will definitely give them some confidence going into these next matchups. And you've seen how long Alex survived in those fights. He took so much damage, and very importantly, dealt a lot of damage as well.
Dealt a hell of a lot of damage, and just as I was saying, you can't leave Gambit be for too long because they will eventually turn one of those team fights in their favor by hook or by crook. Currently, though, it's 12-6 to Fnatic. They have that 8,000 gold lead, and they are trying to keep their stranglehold on Gambit. It is a slippery beast to hold on to, though.
Yeah, 12-6 up in terms of kills, and that gold advantage as well as the map control is really what's giving Fnatic the ability to, throw themselves a little bit recklessly into some of these team fights. See a very good pickup. That's 11,000 gold there for Yellowstar's Twitch, 514. He's just picked himself up a Quicksilver Sash, so he'll be able to get rid of the Cocoon, get rid of the Wither, something similar. But look at the positioning again. Gambit grouped up to defend blue. Fnatic may be trying to steal.
They tried to steal. Alex did manage to pick it up, though. Cyanide was there with him as well. This time around, they're actually continuing to chase on Fnatic here. They may well try and continue through the bushes. Instead, they're going to turn back to mid.
Take a look at the CS numbers again for Peke. 32 minutes into the game, 355 CS. If he continues at this rate, he's going to hit, 6-item build way sooner than anybody else. He's got that Ruby Crystal picked up, so he'll be working towards that Black Cleaver as his next major item pickup. And that's obviously going to help him shred people down even quicker. Right now, Fnatic have got a fair amount of wards in their possession, and it looks like they're going to start setting up some vision for Baron. I imagine it's a possibility, but more of a bait than a completed objective right now.
There's 3 Zhonya's Hourglasses on the items right now, so as Darian and Alex Ich, and they could be crucial in this next fight with that Guardian Angel down as well of Alex. We do also see the Quicksilver Sash picked up by Yellowstar. Felt he got locked up a little bit too heavily in that last fight. Diamond Prox does lend cover to his support. Of course, Edward trying to get those wards in towards it, and his roles reversed. This time it's N-rated in there, clearing them out. Peke caught a little bit out there on the golems. He does have to back away from that one. He was using his Living Shadow to avoid the damage. And they spoke. Both teams won this fight.
Yellowstar, he's just gone invisible, and Soaz has snuck around on the side. In terms of vision, Fnatic are well aware of Gambit's position. There is no oracles on their side, and they stood right on top of a ward. So if an equalizer does go down, they may actually jump on this. And Rated was being very, very brave, clearing out that ward because the rest of his team had fallen back well before. Nevertheless, he gets it, and he backs away safely.
The rest of Gambit, they turn, and they may see an advantage here. They think the Fnatic may have gone back and try and shove that mid lane. That's exactly what's happening, but luckily Soaz is there to keep that flame spitter going, to keep that wave pushed up in towards the Gambit area. There's a wave along the bottom. Zed's going to show himself. Peke is down there. Gambit, no. They have the numbers advantage. They're going for it. They're trying to push up mid.
We'll see if they can jump in on the team fight. Pekka is going to get to safety. Alex has gone through the mid lane. There's no summoner spells blown or any abilities yet, but that's a 5-man stack. The Russians are going to carry on chasing, and pretty good damage from that Howling Gale. In terms of wave clear, it's going to need to get very close to the tower before they can get the splash damage down. Eye of the Storm is on the turret, and Pekka continues the pressure.
Yeah, that shield's not going to be enough. Gambit do a quick hit and run, and that was turned around. But Pekka, look at this. He's going in towards that inhibitor turret. Have Gambit managed to get caught out here, or is Pekka going to try and close in towards him? You can see he's heading across the jungle. He wants to close the gap on Fnatic. Fnatic are not letting them back off here. As minions are going on towards it, there's going to be a catch on towards Edward. Are they going to be enough? Look at that. He just got melted. Soaz catching on towards that. Howling Gale comes across as well and interrupts the fight. They're going to catch on towards Diamond. He's going to get popped in a moment. It's going to be Pekka putting the damage down on him. He can't get involved in this fight. Alex Ich, he's getting locked up. Has got that Zhonya's Hourglass available. The Repel comes out. Darian avoids the damage. Alex Ich finally going to go down here to the Flame Spitter of Soaz, and Pekka picks up the killing blow. It's another great engage for Fnatic. Now they're going to run to the Baron. It was a 2-for-0, but more importantly, everybody in Gambit was low.
Such a great play from Fnatic. They came in from 2 different sides. They managed to get so much damage down into Edward that he couldn't even get his crescendo off. He got knocked up into the air, which meant he couldn't cast that ability when he wanted to, and by the time he had a chance, he had been blown up. Immediately, Xpeke throws that death mark down into Diamond Prox. He couldn't stay in the fight. He would have gone down. He managed to survive by running away, but a 2-for-0 and a Baron for Fnatic. A 10,000 gold lead. They have 5 towers to 3, and you have to feel that they're in complete control for the next couple of minutes.
Gold advantage keeps on piling on for Fnatic. They now have 11,000 and the Baron buff lead over Gambit. Is this their win? Are they going to take down Gambit, the mighty Russians, in the grand finals of the spring playoffs? Can they do it? Can they hold on to their #1 spot? They are the #1 seed, of course. So over the season, you would assume that Fnatic would be the ones that would be the favorites, but you never bet against Gambit. As it stands right now, the items starting to pop into place. You can see everybody stacking to buy. And look at Pekka. He's past 400 CS now. He's a full 100 plus ahead of anyone in the game.
Black Cleaver completed, Lost Whisper completed, Giant's Belt in his back pocket, and a Guardian and Angel available for use if they go into a team fight. It's going to be so difficult for Gambit to win a team fight against that level of defense, that level of survivability. Right now, Fnatic have positioning on Dragon. They have the Baron up, so Gambit aren't going to fight a battle out in the open unless they catch somebody out. And Fnatic are just going to grab this one for free and carry on applying pressure across the map. Pekka, he's alone split pushing the lane. Who would have guessed?
The wards are getting placed out.
Diamond's going to find a rat.
Oh, he's going to find a rat, and he's going to get caught out by the Howling Gale comes across, and that's Yellowstar picking up the kill. Is that the signal for Fnatic to charge into the base? Surely that bottom inhibitor is already taken low by the minions. You can see it's already started the damage on it, and now they have that 4-man advantage. Darian takes a burst of damage. Fnatic, they're just going to keep on shoving through once that wave comes in.
They've got the ability to. Deathmark is up, and that was just a small combo. There's the equalizer. Fnatic want to pick this fight. Soaz has gone in.
Flame Spitter on towards Edward. He's going to get taken down. The crescendo had to be used, but he's on his Hourglass straight away. Darian repels, and that is going to be the first inhibitor of the game. Pekka comes on, tries to do it hit and run on Darian, can't quite pick up the kill, and everybody from Gambit is forced away just by Pekka, and the first inhibitor of the game goes down. It's Fnatic that gets it.
They brute force their way in there, slam shoulders to shoulders, and just completely push Gambit back. They managed to get that single kill on Diamond in the jungle, and that is what allowed them to pick up that inhibitor. With the inhib down, Fnatic are just going to allow their minions to help them push the rest of these lanes, and it's just a matter of time before they get this mid inner turret. That's going to be the next target. Yellowstar is going in on Darian, but Darian switches to Spider form to try and use that repel if it was needed.
Well, these players have been going for over 5 hours now. It has been a stamina test for them, and of course Crepo is saying that's nothing. To come back when you've passed 8 hours, or in fact it was like 3 days overall, I believe it was. But the stamina test for Fnatic has been long and arduous, and we saw Gambit before this game. They were looking so stern and serious based on the confidence that Fnatic got from picking up that last win. Is that enough to take them over the line? Pekka is going to come across. He might be able to actually catch on towards Edward there. Instead chooses to back away from that one. He could have turned that into a fight for his own.
I was about to say, Edward's feeling very brave on his side of the river there, because You know, Pekka can just pop him like a balloon. Now take a look at the lanes right now. 2 members of Fnatic near the top lane. Diana being played by Alex, which is in the bottom lane, all alone without teleport, so will not be able to join a party unless she takes a long time to run there. Fnatic are grouping up to try and push the towers, while Gambit are completely all over the place.
Great map play once again from Fnatic. The equalizer comes down on towards Edward. They push that top lane, forcing Darian to go up and reply to it, giving them open season to push in towards this inner turret. That's going to be the third one. So well played by Fnatic there. They're just maneuvering Gambit anywhere they please.
Yeah, they're making the decisions and forcing Gambit to react. Now they're going to try and siege up this inner turret. Super minions are a couple of seconds away from getting into the base of Gambit. And right now Fnatic see some minions in the top lane, so they'll roll up there, and this is what's going to be happening. They'll go top, middle, until such time as those super minions are causing Gambit a problem. Gambit will respond to the super minions, and that's going to be the go signal on that inhibitor turret.
Well, if they go top, middle or bottom, we'll see if they can strike it lucky, because right now it is Fnatic pushing on through in towards the inhibitor base. Remember, there's super minions coming along that bottom wave, so Fnatic are going to keep applying that pressure, and those Nexus turrets are going to have minions on them in just a few moments time.
So we'll see how well this wave clears. We talked about it a moment or two ago. The Spirit Fire and the Crescent Strike so powerful. 1 or 2 auto hits onto that turret. Now the super minions, they are onto the Nexus minions. You can see the caution, the fallback pings there for Gambit. Spirit Fire from Diamond Prox is out along with his smite usage to try and get them down as quickly as possible. But the pressure is on. Can Gambit hold a second inhibitor? If another one goes down, you have to imagine that is game. That is GG for Fnatic.
The waves keep on coming. Remember, there is no Baron buff. It has worn off. It doesn't matter. Fnatic are quite happily continuing to shove on in towards this inhibitor turret. The super minions continue to go. There's minions coming up the middle turret. And more importantly, everybody's ultimate is available for this next fight.
Yeah, after that little siege in the middle lane, Equalizer is back available for Soaz. He used it to zone out Gambit to get the first inhibitor. Expect the same to happen again. There's a couple of minions pushing out from the mid lane, and Yellow Star, he was thinking about going down. Actually, it looks like he has responded. Going to clear out this wave, get some more gold. It would be a 4v4 in this top lane if a fight broke out, but with a 15,000 gold lead, Fnatic would probably still win that one.
He put a couple of shots on towards the inhibitor turret there as well, so he's actually starting to do more damage. And Alex tries to respond to this one. Chain of Corruption lands on Soaz, but he's on his hourglass is straight out of it, and Peke goes in. He goes aggressive. Who is he going to get fined? It's going to be Edward taken so low. Spray and break coming out from Yellowstar. That's going to be another kill going down. Darian tries to repel, tries to go deep, but Alex also uses Zonya's hourglass. He's got a Guardian Angel as well. He's going to be so chunky to survive from this one, but Darian goes down, and Fnatic continued to push on through. It was a 2-0 engage, and there's super minions still continuing to push on those Nexus turrets. Gambit, luckily though, have just got a wave of minion spawn to repel them.
The focusing and the control there from Fnatic was so good. Alex did the best that he could to pull Yellowstar off the rest of the team, and he actually turned his spray and pray around. At the time, Yellowstar was shooting through the entirety of Gambit, and Alex positioned himself in such a way that Yellow was aiming down. Now Peke is very low. This would be a Guardian Angel versus Guardian Angel fight. There goes Alex.
Manages to get the ultimate in there, but straight away manages to get away with it with his Twin Shadow. Didn't even use Flash.
Didn't need to use it at all. Just a Shadow Clone was enough. You got to think with Death Mark down, would have been an interesting fight actually to see who would have won that one. Nevertheless, Gambit, they defend the top inhibitor. That is very important. They save the tower. They save the inhib, even though it cost them a couple of kills. The game, it is not over yet. And we heard them saying earlier, they will never surrender. They will not say we are done. And this game is definitely still on.
Well, it's a 15,000 plus difference. That is pretty damn huge. 17-7 in terms of kills. Yellowstar's going to pick up the blue buff, and the Dragon Baron wards are starting to come out. Look at his N-rated. He's trying to paint a pretty picture of wards all around that river area. Fnatic are looking so strong here. They're going to start the Baron up, and I don't feel that Gambit are going to be able to do anything to deal with this.
This is just going to get shredded so quickly with Liandry's Torment and double Blades of the Ruined King. All of that, percentage HP damage just completely drops it. That was, what, 7-8 seconds on Baron. So that's Baron number 2 now. It does go to Fnatic. They're immediately going to start the siege up in this top lane. The inhibitor has respawned for Gambit in the bottom lane, so they're not going to be too worried about super minions as those waves will start to peter out. But in terms of itemization, Arandian's Omen has been completed for Peke. So if he dives into a team, he's going to slow their movement, slow their attack speed, and mitigate a lot of damage that can be put down.
5 members of Fnatic come up head-to-head against 5 members of Gambit with the turret, but the Baron buff, the all-important Baron buff, will be enough to surely win this fight for Fnatic.
2 Guardian Angels apiece in terms of the 2 teams. Diana as well as Varus on the other side, Rumble as well as Zed. So we'll see how this effective 7-on-7 fight turns out. Fnatic wisely deciding to back away, and you see how important that wave clear is. We talked about the team and the ability that Gambit has to fend off sieges, and it's paying dividends right now. Unless Fnatic all in, Gambit will be able to hold this tower for quite a while.
Peke is shoving that wave in the mid lane. Genja shows himself at the bottom. Hasn't completely cleared out the wave though. And now the top lane's being pushed in. Yellowstar's on the top lane. He's going to get the damage down. The inhibitor turret is going to drop down. But it's going to be Alex Ich. He's going to try and engage on towards it. So as he goes for the equalizer comes across. Crescendo only caught one member right there. Cataclysm comes jumping down. Diamond Proxy is going to get dropped by Peke. And now he's going to be another kill. Alex Ich on towards Cyno. Sonya's hourglass from Alex Ich. Is it going to be enough? The moonfall pulls everyone in towards him. He's still got that Guardian Angel. Soaz is going to get taken down very low, but it doesn't matter because Genja's been dropped. It's a double kill picked up for Yellowstar. Can they get on towards Darian? One more shot. He's been chased on towards the Nexus bouncing. Fnatic may well have done it. They're going to take down the inhibitor in the top lane. There's minions pushing up the top, the middle, and the bottom, and Fnatic are on the Nexus turrets. The grand final winners will be Fnatic taking down Gambit Gaming 3-2. What a fantastic performance from Fnatic. They finally win out on the blue side.
Look at the excitement. They have done it. They bucked the trend. They broke the blue side veil. They picked up the win, and what a way to bring it home. Fnatic have lost their minds. They are jumping. They are screaming. Ladies and gentlemen, Fnatic are the European League of Legends Championship Series Spring Champions.
Fantastic, fantastic performance. They look strong from the start. And wow, what a game. Finally, it is a victor. It's not the one you thought it would be. The #1 team in Europe right now, it is Fnatic. We're going to go across towards our analysis desk to take us through that fantastic victory. And we'll be Joe Miller, Jason Kaplan, and of course, Scumbag Crepo. But what a great performance by Fnatic there. Gambit just looks shell-shocked. Thanks a lot, Demon.